Welcome back, everybody, to game number 3, St. Clair versus Western University. We are now in the pro draft here. The champions are being selected live in front of you before we get into this third game. Western University now on red side again for the third time. St. Clair, it is loser's choice. So St. Clair choosing to go for the blue side, picking up the Samira as a first pick. This champion gets banned 99% of games that we've seen that I've participated in. But here she is now on the main stage. Samira into the Jhin in the bot lane.
Yeah, they seem to want to go for around the same thing where they play to their bot side, but the Hecarim being picked up by Western seems like both teams are going to be doing the same style of play again. So it's just going to be hard camping these bot lanes, and Samira Leona is an all-in lane where you just always are trying to get these fights to just stick and stay on top of them.
So is a very dominant bot lane duo, and of course into this Hecarim matchup we may see the Olaf coming out. Trick does play a fair bit of Olaf, and having tried it recently in the preseason, commented that the Gore Drinker feels incredible, so we may see the Olaf come out as a response to Hecarim. It is a little early on in the drafting phase to pick it, but they've already shown the jungle. It wouldn't be an awful choice, but actually looking at the Malphite, and I really like this look, this is a great answer to Jhin.
Yeah, this is a really good play by St. Clair because, oh, never mind, it's Clair, my favorite top laner. Wow. I don't know if this is going top or jungle, but I am excited to see it be played nonetheless. The survivability and knowing your limits on this champion is incredible with having a heal and a shield and such all-in good potential because he's pretty much Malphite, but his ult gets out turrets and doesn't knock people out.
Really interesting choice from St. Clair, taking the Volibear and leaving the Malphite. Western's just going to snatch that up, and this Volibear, like both Malphite and Volibear are technically flex picks. There is the possibility to run Malphite as an ability power champion in the middle lane, or as a tank in the top lane. Volibear, likewise, you can play him as a bruiser top or a bruiser tank in the jungle. Choosing to go for the Volibear over the Malphite is definitely a questionable choice. I don't hate it, though. I won't lie. I don't dislike the Volibear jungle matchup into Hecarim, and Volibear is a relatively safe blind pick top lane as well. So it's not a terrible choice. Just to me, seeing the Malphite open and just choosing to ignore it is definitely odd.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it per se, but on Western side, they ban out two characters that I'm just a little confused about. Like the Irelia ban, I don't believe Frez plays very often, and the Akali ban, we have a pretty good counter to already on their draft. So it's looking like they're just trying to play the mid-top with these bans, and it's not sticking in my head.
I don't see a Akali ban, mostly because of how much Duel plays it, but also because of how frustrating it is to deal with, especially if you're looking at something like Malphite Jhin here. This Sylas pickup is going to effectively deny a Shen take for St. Clair. It's also a flex as well, so neither Malphite or Sylas has kind of confirmed what lane they're going to. There is always the option that Malphite is a support. It's very unlikely, but it is a flex pick. So we have now two flex picks going into Western's final pick, and they're going to be the Camille going to Frez. He got the Camille. It's the first time in so long he gets to play his champion, and this Camille Galio combo is so good. Being able to use your Galio ultimate to follow up onto the Camille ultimate into the backline. It does confirm that the Volibear is going to be going into the jungle, so Western knows what St. Clair's lane setups are going into this fifth and final pick. But woo, these comps are looking crazy.
Yeah, this is a very heavy dive all-in comp by St. Clair, being able to just really get on top of them super hard. Samir's looking for these all-in. Morgana being picked as a response to this bot lane, trying to keep it safe and keep a lot of CC for this hacker, and being able to Morgana Q into Jhin W to set up a gank is just insane. It hurts real bad. If I had to guess, I'm going to be guessing that this is Sylas mid lane and Malphite top, because Sylas being able to take the Galio ult and get a lot of good roams off of that, along with Malphite not being that horrible in Camille. I don't know per se, but Malphite is really strong right now.
I believe you're correct. I'm looking at these lanes, and I can't really see any other way that this would go. Of course, we will have to see once the players actually lock in their champions into the next phase, who is going where, but it is a fairly safe bet. That being said, Galio is pretty decent into both Malphite and Sylas.
Mm-hmm. Galio.
What if we get the problem and it's Morgana mid?
Oh, well, steady chill. That's all I have to say to that one.
I mean, you don't want to play a melee AP into Galio. He's just built so well for that matchup. So throwing the Morgana might actually make the mid lane a little bit uncomfortable. You could put the Malphite as a support. It's definitely not an ideal lane setup, but it is a good way of responding to the picks that St. Clair have presented here. We will see what Western decides to go for. There's plenty of time for us left to be shocked here going into game number 3, but these two drafts are looking very scary, and I am so excited to see how these games play out.
Yeah, there's a lot of very scary carries on both sides, and I'm and I'm excited to see how these lanes turn out, and how I'm excited to learn how to play Camille from Frez in the top lane. It's going to be a great game for him. I'm sure he's very excited.
St. Clair to win this game so that I can have enough of a budget to commission Danners to make me a very scary carry emote. I need it. It's all I'm asking for. That's what I want for Christmas this year, Danners. So I know you're listening to me, sir. Let's make it happen. Very scary carry. St. Clair going into playoffs next season. I mean, if we pull this off, okay, let's look at this game. If St. Clair pulls this off, we're going into playoffs having taken down Western University. That is just huge for morale. You can even lose every other game for the rest of the season and still come out of this game saying, we took down Western. We're the squad that beat Western. So honestly, for St. Clair, this match is more important than anything else they've played all season. And they have so far done a fairly good job of putting the pressure onto Western. Taking game 1 was such a big step. And now moving into game 3, it's going to be crazy if they manage to pull this one off.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see if they can do this. I'm just really amped, to be honest. That's all that I really have to say. Is that
I'm pumped up and I'm not even playing. I'm just watching it.
It's true. It's going to be a lot of fighting from the St. Clair comp, and obviously the Western comp as well. With how these games have been going, it's just constant skirmishes, constant fighting all over the map. With the St. Clair comp, I feel like the fighting is just going to be amped up to 11. We're just going to be dueling constantly. Volibear's a great duelist. Camille's a great duelist. Samira wants to go all in. Leona wants to go in. Galio wants to go in. It's crazy.
Bot lane matchup is definitely not ideal for St. Clair. The Leona Samira is such a good combination, but Morgana kind of just says no thank you to the entire play. One spell, that Black Shield, preventing any crowd control abilities from applying their effects, is such a good response to Leona, whose entire kit is basically stuns. 3 out of her 4 abilities are stuns. And one ability alone basically deletes the effectiveness of all 3 of those abilities. Samira, as well, does have a way of breaking through the Dark Binding. So it is a little bit of a back and forth lane. But this game is honestly going to be just both teams trying to attack each other and maybe not finding the ways to do it. Galio versus Silas is going to be a little bit of a bloodbath. Camille versus Malphite is going to be a little bit of a fiesta. Volibear versus Hecarim in the jungle is definitely going to be a fiesta. We're going to see a lot of Scuttlecrab fights break out that are very just chaotic. It's the best way to describe this game is chaos. 100%.
This is going to be really interesting. It's just going to be a lot of fighting, as we've stated before. This Morgana, I feel like, is a really good pick to save for last on the red side. And that might have been what they were thinking about game 2, where they were just wanting to keep red side for counter pits. And I think it's going to be really good into this comp for St. Clair. St. Clair's comp.
That St. Clair actually elected to go blue side. So Western given the red side counter pick. That Morgana pick, as you mentioned, it is a very good counter pick. It is interesting, obviously, to leave the support pick for last, but it basically takes out Leona and Galio single-handedly. There are a number of ways of kind of beating Morgana. The main way, obviously, is to bait out the Dark Binding. You can block it with something like Samira's W, and then take advantage of her relatively immobile kit. She's fairly low health. She can be blown up. But there's a reason why this champion is so popular, not just in solo queue, but as a response to compositions like St. Clair's, is because she does her job so well with so much damage, and she's fairly easy to pilot. It's not a complicated character to play. The Q is a very large hitbox. I've gotten snagged by so many Dark Bindings that definitely shouldn't have hit. Riot Games, I'm looking at you. And that ultimate is literally just a tap of an R key, and it's a 5-man stun. So just such a solid pickup in situations like this. So Western did a great job of adding this champion to their roster going into Game 3. It is going to be a very impactful pick in this game, to say the least. But looking at St. Clair, they've got some very scary lanes as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of just pressing R and going in. That's all that I'm seeing for both of these teams, pretty much, which is why we've stated so heavily that it's just going to be a lot of fighting. And I think that we're just going to be seeing both teams running to bot side with the junglers, starting possibly with both top camps. I'm not entirely sure, but on the side of Trick, he could play to his top laner this game, and it wouldn't be that bad. So I think that from Western's point of view, they want to play their bot side, and from St. Clair's point of view, they want to play to either top or bot.
Yeah, there's lots of options for both junglers. I think the main thing is that Trick is going to want to be able to respond to Cyber no matter where he goes. My throat hurts from all these fights. I'm not gonna lie. I got my drink here with me, so make sure 40 seconds in before we load in, get your drinks, get your water, get your club soda, get whatever you need to carry yourself through this because game 3 is going to be one heck of a ride. 30 seconds now before we load into the Summoner's Rift. Curtis, before we enter the third game, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors. A big thank you to St. Clair College Alumni Association, PC Outlet, Zeppelin School of Business and IT, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Thank you so much for providing us the opportunities to cast these games for our students. Without these opportunities, people like me and Curtis who love doing what we do wouldn't have other opportunities to do this. So we're very thankful and gracious, of course, and we are very excited to get into game number 3 here, St. Clair versus Western University on the Summoner's Rift.
Let's go get amped up, Zeddy. Let's get those vocal cords ready.
What are your thoughts on this game before we get into it? Give me one big expectation that you're looking to see out of this game.
I'm really excited to see Lozzie pop off on Samira personally. That his first game on Vayne, he really likes these high mechanical ADCs where you can just do so much, and I think he's going to do really well this game.
His Vayne games have been quite impressive. We saw in game number 1 his Raven mechanics were very strong, and Samira, like you mentioned, is a fairly mechanical champion as well. You get those resets on your dash with every kill. The Q is a relatively low cooldown, so you're constantly weaving it into your trading patterns. There's lots of abilities for mechanical outplay with this Samira pick, and here we are again with the teams loading in, going into that traditional 5-point. You could have definitely seen them go for an invade here as well, but I guess the Morgana scared it off a little bit. Both teams are just going to be happy to position themselves and spread themselves across the map here.
Yeah, just the traditional looking if you can possibly get a deep ward in and just staring at your opponent. Cyber has done this for 3 games straight. He just goes to the back of red buff and places the ward down while he recalls. It's just a very common thing to happen for junglers this season. It's just been adopted from pro play, and you just switch out to your sweeper and you go back to your camp.
We can see Trick did the exact same thing on the top side. However, he elected to drop his ward in the Pixel Rush. Both junglers backing now have the Oracle's Lens available. That sweeper is going to be able to disable any wards placed by these bot lanes in the early game, which means we may see some very aggressive early game ganks here towards the bottom side of the map. Both junglers here starting on their red buffs. Again, Cyber is going to be pathing his way down bot lane after he clears out this red buff, and on the opposite end, Trick, starting on his red buff, going to be able to make his way up top, like you mentioned, providing some extra value to this Camille pick in the top lane.
Yeah, they need to really get this Camille ahead, because once we get a little bit further into this game, Malphite is going to be such a huge threat on just being able to tank so much. And that's with Blaze Nova getting a nice little bit of damage, delaying their entry to the bot lane, possibly denying some XP if the leash went a little bit too long.
Doesn't look like it, thankfully for Lozzie. No XP reduced here. Blaze Nova taking a big chunk of health back in return. Samira, if you're not familiar with the champion, she is relatively new. When a crowd control ability lands, if she auto-attacks the champion that has been CC'd, they will take an additional 1-second knockup. But Clublink carrying these bot lane trades, getting 2 4 shots onto the side of St. Clair. Both of these champions relatively low, having to commit some healing now in the bot lane. And mid lane, as we mentioned, is already a bloodbath here. Loyal actually proccing his Conqueror already at a level 2 trade. That is an extended fight and a half here. Now in the top lane, we see a little bit of a bloodbath as well. A little bit of slapping back and forth, some right clicks exchange in the lane. I expect that this is how the laning phase is going to look for the next 10 minutes. Just constant fighting.
Yeah, constant fighting for sure. And I believe Western was just trying to take advantage of the level 1. And Yule getting all in on Cyber going in, but then Yule just flashing away. Really well played by Yule to just get out of there as fast as possible and not get engaged on so far down the lane. As I was saying,
being there, to be fair, that was an excellent rotation from jungle to be able to respond to that threat.
From both junglers just being there, and Trick getting there for the counter gank. if it was possible. It was really well played by him. So now we're looking to go into the scuttler time at 3:15. Trick is going to be able to do this top scuttler for sure with how top lane and mid lane both have cryo. And then Headroom on Cyber is going to be able to do this bot stove. No fancy stuff going on, no fights. Just fine.
I mean, we expected a fiddle fight, but it looks like we're not going to get it today. At first, we kind of expected that Trick was going to be matching Cyber's rotations around the map, and we saw that happen in the mid lane. Both junglers going for a full red side clear before that mid lane gank. It was excellent map read from Trick being able to respond to that. Unfortunately, wasn't able to kind of block down that fight onto the scuttlecock from the bot side here. Now, Yule going for an extended trade onto Loyal. Trick is going to zone him off with the electrocute from the sky there, stoning out this Sylas, probably forcing the recall there. We can actually see Loyal channeling that recall now. Trick not able to get that double scuttle crab though. Going to look for potentially a repeat gank mid here before he recalls. Might be a little bit of an over-aggressive dive, but he does have flash available. We can actually see Blaze Nova pathing from base into mid lane. This is going to be an excellent response from Weston if they make the read here. A little bit of a fight breaking on the top lane though. Fred's getting a nice trade onto Malphite, but here goes Trick in the jungle now, fighting against Cyber. Does take the Dark Binding to the face, doing what he can to get some damage down onto Cyber, but the stun, the root from Jin from across the map here. Nice kill onto Laws. He does manage to find the kill onto Loyal. A double taunt here, going into the back line. Yule gets the kill now onto Cyber. Lozzy is resetting like crazy. He is jumping all over the place. Mansku now with this extended fight now onto Plebling. There's a double kill for the Samira. 3 kills now for Lozzy, 1 kill for Yule. St. Clair is so happy with how that fight went out.
Like I said, Lozzy on mechanical ADCs, he does work. Kalista, Vayne, Samira. It's incredible. Every time I see it, it's just a pleasure to watch.
It is, and you can see just those Samira dashes. It's just so satisfying. You dash in, you get a kill. You dash out, you get a kill. You dash sideways, you get a kill. You dash straight to the moon. That's 3 kills. Now, with the noon bow being already completed at 5 minutes, that is a lot of damage. Again, if you are not familiar with these preseason changes, get familiar with Noon Bow. It is the new and improved BF sword. It's better than a BF sword. It gives you attack speed as well as damage, as well as last hit help in that bot lane. Such a huge power spike for Samira in this bottom lane. An easy path towards that mythic item completion. This bot lane is devastating.
Yeah, it's really good. But on the top side of the map, we actually had Frez force Jayoya out of lane, so we're currently at a TP advantage. So I believe that St. Clair would look to take that advantage and look to do Dragon in a 5v4 after Frez is able to push out this wave.
Yep, Frez being able to teleport now onto the Dragon. As you mentioned, St. Clair will have the advantage should they look for that early Drake, and I suspect, as you mentioned, that it will be the call here. We can already see Trick tapping down into his bottom side. His red buff is about to spawn, and for Cyber, since he started red buff, if he's going to match that timing, he's going to have to go top, which means Trick does have the priority onto the Dragon here. We can see a little bit of a fight breaking out in the top lane, though. Frez getting a little ambitious here. Flashing the unstoppable force. Jayoya is going to walk his way out of there. Reaction timing from Frez. It was looking a little scary for Malphite. He did have the XP lead, and that's twice now we've seen the top laners. In game 1 it was Frez, and game 3 now rather it was Jayoya. But the top laner, the first one to recall, is the first one to get the level lead. It makes no sense.
It seems to be just the Malphite maneuver. That's just what it's.
You're right. It's the Malphite difference. Yeah. It's actually into the code. They don't tell you this, but when you're Malphite, you just get more experience. That's why the champions are okay.
Okay. Jokes aside, it was because of
this could be scary.
It was because of the wave being pushed in that Malphite was able to do more CS because he was slow pushing out after the recall, so he hit sits earlier.
Yeah, of course. And we can see that there was obviously a big lead for Frez there in CS and damage, but because of that big wave, as you mentioned, that Malphite getting his ultimate first. However, now Malphite is 6, he has no flash, and he has no ultimate. This could be an opportunity for Trick to make his way topside, but if it takes too long, that ultimate is going to be available yet again. Jayoya is currently relatively out of mana, and Frez is taking his reset now. They could look for a play topside here as Logic gets a little bit aggressive in the bottom lane. It's going to put a lot of pressure onto Cyber to choose where he wants to react. Is he going to go bot to defend his carry, or is he going to go top to save his Malphite and potentially protect from a Herald take as well? Lots of options available for St. Clair right now, moving into that 8-minute time.
Yeah, and every time Yule shoves out his wave, he looks to posture down, looking for these ultimates. especially with Loyal having his ult as well. Taken a little bit early before a fight happens, he might just not have the ult on Yule when a fight actually breaks out and might not be able to just follow. So, taking that a little early, in my opinion. But this fight is breaking up in mid, just a nice little trade, walking away. And we're looking up to Rift Herald, with Cyber going for that early Rift Herald again.
Noting on Sylas that the ultimate steal ability, while it has a relatively low cooldown, there is a separate cooldown based on each individual champion you steal from. So stealing from Yule's ultimate early means that he's going to have it available for the next 20 or 30 seconds. Actually, it just despawned now. It's about a minute that it lasts for, but he's not going to be able to access it again. Trick actually with a Herald steal now onto Cyber, forcing the ultimate away. Yule does commit the ultimate now, going for a bit of a fight here onto Jayoya, who has no fun. Ultimate from Frez, holding the Malphite in place. That unstoppable force clearly is stoppable, and now with the taunt kill from Yule, that's a 25 damage pop, finding that last hit onto the Galio. Well played, Frez. Damn, that's a highlight.
Yeah, what good timing now, and I'm sure he's so happy about that. Lozzy looking for a little bit of an engage down here in the bot lane, and getting the trade off while this wave is pushing out. Since both supports are gone, he's looking to go all in, he's ulting, and he flashes in under the turret, gets the rampage, killing Pleb Links 1v1, looking to try and get into Miansfo. Miansfo coming over, ulting over. It's a 3v2. Lozzy just barely not being able to heal enough off of his ultimate to try and get another kill. Miansfo flashing over the wall, gets engaged.
Really nice start from Lozzy, but a bit of an overextension. After getting that kill, would have been wise to just take that dash and reset through the tower. Unfortunately, going through a greedy path into the enemy's blue side jungle does get punished for this, but right now, with an excellent Herald response here in the mid lane, that's going to represent a lot of gold now onto Yule on this Galio. And even though Galio is a tank, tanks like money too, and it's going to mean a lot of health for this Galio pick. We might see the Hextech Rocket Belt come out. There is also the opportunity for a Night Harvester Galio. It seems odd, but it's actually a very strong pickup because it gives you so much movement speed in team fights so you can reposition to lock down the taunt that you're trying to hit. So lots of options for Yule here on this reset. We'll have to see what he ends up electing to take, but big choice here for Yule.
Yeah, Galios recently have been doing a lot more damage base, and Frez looking to get a small trade off in the top lane while everyone is posturing down the bot. Yule looking to follow down with the roam, not having his ult up, but possibly snuffing out if there might be a dive. Sees Loyal and goes back to mid. We're looking at Frez just trading with Jayoya constantly with that Malphite shield. It's a little hard, but he goes all in. Screw the shield, he's going for it. He's getting his Conqueror proc, trying to take this really long trade into Meteor Malphite. While Yule is fighting in the mid lane with the channel. That's a really nice E by Loyal to go all in, getting the Conqueror proc, and then walking it. So we're looking at bot lane here, and now we're back to top lane, naturally. So we're just shoving out this top wave to look to get some vision or to reset. Frez probably looking for his Trinity Force at this point, trying to just get on map with as much damage as possible.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I did have experienced a small, minor technical difficulty there, but I am back. Thank you, Curtis, for carrying that portion of the cast there. Obviously, non-stop fighting in this game here. The Dark Binding does land onto Miansfo in the bottom lane. Lozzy in the team fight now does get caught out by the Hector Mulch. He's going to have to kite back here. Strick getting rooted. There's the unstoppable force, but a nice ultimate from the Volibear to avoid that. Lozzy looking for the ultimate here. He's going to land the full duration onto Cyber. There's the kill for Yule. The dash reset is now available here. Frez taking the Camille ult to his own face from the steal from Sylas. Lozzy is still relatively healthy. Might look for some resets here. Goes in with the ultimate. This is massive for Samira. Nice kill there. There's the double kill now onto Yule. Looking in for an extended trade onto the Morgana. Morgana is low. They are going to push bot lane off of this. Lozzy, well played. Great positioning from the St. Clair squad here. And both carries surviving this fight is huge for St. Clair. 5-0 Galio, 4-1 Samira. My God, these carries are unstoppable.
Yeah, Frez had a really nice TP there to shut down the Jhin ult to help keep Lozzy alive in the back by getting onto that Jhin with the E and just trying to lock him down. Unfortunately, he was turned on pretty hard, but now we're looking at a fight here. Yule going in, Morgana's shield stopping the taunt while he flashes out. Loyal with the TP in, going in on Lozzy. Trick being able to do that Dryden, and then we're looking to disengage. We're trying to run away. We got Morgana flash binding. That is a dead bear. Trick is down. We are trying to just get everyone out here as fast as possible. Mienzo with a really nice E to be able to get out of the pit. Will he be able to run away with the speed that the Cloud Soul gives? He hits the Q, and Loyal is able to pit that one up.
Oh man, Mansfeld with a very creative Zenith Blade over the wall, grabbing it on the edge, the very edge of the hitbox onto Loyal. Unfortunately, not enough to get him out of there. And for St. Clair, that Dragon take was very ambitious, to say the least. They had a great team fight that could have very easily just turned into a reset. They had Trick running from base, and the bot lane on the enemy side was very low. But instead, choosing to go for that Dragon, it's a high-risk, high-reward play, and even though they managed to secure the Dragon, they did end up spoon-feeding quite a bit of gold back into Western's pockets. Lozy going down there means the shutdown does go to the side of Western. So big gold swing there for Western here. Fred's looking for an extended trade up in the top lane. Using the hook shot against the wall is going to put him in a very dangerous spot here. Jayoya does have the ultimate available. Might be looking, but there's Frez not able to snap the ultimate in time. I believe it is just coming up now. Frez with the hook shot into the W, able to find the escape there. Jayoya looking for an opportunity to Q onto Frez, but Frez is just out of range. Trick with the cleanup.
Just a little bit of hesitation on the ult there, but Jayoya gave him enough time to have his E up in time to get out. It was very well played by Frez to be able to do that, and Yule was actually roaming up as well. Yule looking to go after Loyal here, now that he's at half HP, pushing him off. Loyal taking the ult, looking to reset because he's under half. Now we look at Cyber getting the E off, getting the red buff, the E, and he ults to be able to secure the kill. It was just very close. He did not have confidence in his red buff to be able to take that one.
Take a look at the items now. We mentioned Divine Sunderer being relatively big in these matchups, especially with all of these tanks available. It's already completed on the Hecarim, and it's also completed now on the Camille. Here goes Lozy in, looking for an ultimate opportunity here. Commits the ultimate now with all this life steal, but unfortunately just getting stun locked by the bot lane here. Looking to do some damage to Jin, taking the turn onto Blaze Nova. Very nice play from Lozy. He's going to get the reset here. They're not going to be able to find a return to Loyal. Stealing that Galio ulti, returning fire now onto the bottom lane, but he comes just a tad too late. Mianspo's going to walk out of there alive. Lozy's still relatively healthy, and Yule is here to be a tank. Nothing else is going to happen to this bot lane. Great play from St. Clair.
Wow, that was really well played. I thought they were actually just doomed when then Mianspo really turned that around for them. Lozy looking to go for this extended trade, blocking the fourth auto attack by Pleb, saving him about 200 health. And now they're just looking to posture towards Rift Herald.
Certainly for St. Clair, taking this aggressive play in the bot lane means that there will be no priority on this Herald. This second Herald is going to go the way of Western, which is going to be a big pushing power for this team. Second Herald is typically not as valued by teams because you can't use it to get turret plate gold, so the gold value you get from it is less than the first Herald. However, it is still a great way of breaking down the base. And if Western is able to win a good team fight now with this Herald take, it could mean doom for St. Clair's towers. Duel using the taunt here to try to get himself out of the team fight, but unfortunately being blocked out by Loyal, running fairly low on health. Cyber is going to find this kill here. Mianspo shooting out the ultimate, but not able to find the kill. Fred diving into the backline onto Blaze Nova is going to find this kill now onto the Morgana. Does get that clean up there, making his way back up to the top lane to deal with this wave that Jayoya has built up against him. Club links as well in the bottom lane, taking a reset now as well, looking to rotate now onto this mid lane team fight. With that Eye of the Herald available, as we mentioned, Western is going to be putting their foot on the gas now. They need to take advantage of this Herald. They need to do some damage to these St. Clair towers, because right now, St. Clair hasn't dropped a thing.
Yeah, it's very well played. They're able to just keep all of their turrets alive right now. Frez looking to trade into Jayoya. He does have his mythic component into what Frez did last game, where he has a Bammies and a Bramble. I don't understand the Bramble as much, because there's not as much healing as topside, but it's good against Galio and Samira. Or not Galio, Volibear and Samira, my bad.
It is healing on the Camille's W as well, that is worth noting, and it is just a good, solid item. It's a strong, heavy AD comp. Galio is a fair bit of ability power damage in the early game, but late game is more of a tank threat, so lots of the damage on St. Clair's side is going to be damage AD focused. And now Blaze Nova and Club Links looking for a kill onto Yule. Very well played from Yule to sidestep both of those trading tools there. Actually baiting out the Malphite ulti. Well done from Frez to remove that unstoppable force from the ability pool here. Moving into these mid-game fights as we see Cyber walking down into the bot lane, looking to commit the Herald here. It's going to take a good rotation from St. Clair to respond to this. I don't believe they know that this is coming now. Nice little fight now onto Yule. Yule taking a big chunk of health damage here. Trick with the defensive positioning there. Now with Frez teleporting into the team, but gets rooted immediately, not able to find the ultimate, just gets deleted. The Herald gets dropped now. It does slam into the tower here, but 50% HP. St. Clair should be able to prevent this in the next tower, but Western's going to do whatever they can to deliver the payload. This is not League of Legends anymore. This is Overwatch. We're taking that payload straight to the face. Trick goes down as well, and here comes Shelly with one more slam to the tower here. Is going to mean a tier 2 goes Western's way. They're going for more. It's still alive. This push is never ending. Now Loy on the side here, getting picked off by Loyal. Does manage to find his positioning now. Yule in position to protect him up in the front line here. Was looking for a taunt, but not able to find it. There's still no ultimate available for Malphite. Loy may be able to carry this team fight if he can survive without taking too much damage, but now on top of a Malphite with limited lifesteal available, is going to get picked off. Oh my gosh, St. Clair is just getting bodied in this fight.
As that he takes the breather, man, you just went off on that whole fight that just happened. I don't know for sure, but I believe the Herald was able to hit the 3rd turret as well. They did get the inhibitor turret, yes. Now they're trading over this red buff to pleb links. They're looking to just reset, get their gold on the map, and just try and really push out this game by snowballing their leads. We noticed that in Game 2, they were able to really close out the game very well by knowing their limits and being able to really accelerate off of those. So they're going to be looking to try and push out and win with these really good team fight ultimates. We're looking at a pretty interesting gold lead here. We have really heavy jungle difference in the gold wrap. It is 6,000 to 8,900. That's about almost a whole legendary item, if not legendary item, for Hecarim. And the top lane is leaning towards Frez, but not by too much, about 700. Mid lane is about 500, leaning to Yule. Then ADCs is 400 gold difference going to pleb lanes. They're looking to push down this mid turret. The support gold does not matter as much. They get a nice
gold, huge, and it just means so much for the stage of the game because St. Clair had a huge lead, especially on Lozzie in that early game team fight, managing to pick up that second here. Now a little bit of a fight, Fred getting a little ambitious, diving in with the W slow, ulting over the Hecarim taunt, but it's not going to be enough now. Hecarim committing the ultimate, flashing into the backline. Yule with the double taunt, might be able to find the kill into Public, but that Eclipse shield is just so much resistance. Lozzie goes down. St. Clair, not the fight you want to take, and now with their Western, with their eyes set on Baron, this might be the play that throws the game. Unfortunately for St. Clair, going 0-5 in that fight is just not what you need now when you're already so far behind the gold, so far behind the damage, and now even in turrets, this is just the worst possible situation for St. Clair.
Yeah, they forced that fight a little bit too hard. Lozzie was not quite in the right position, and Yule and Shred already used about 3 abilities to just gap close to catch up to Frez with that engage. So now they're going to be able to get that Baron, and as I was saying before, they're going to be looking to close this out.
Oh my gosh, this game. And you know what? I think the moral of the story is if you lose the early game, you win the late game. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking to apply some new League of Legends tips to your games. Int as hard as you can in the early game. It seems to be working for these teams. If you remember correctly, game number 1, St. Clair, they demolished that game. It was like 30-16 at the end. They fed Aphelios 2 kills. Game number 2, St. Clair gets like 2 kills at the beginning of the game. They lose in 20 minutes. Game 3, Lozzie's 4-0 at like 7 minutes, and now they're against a Baron, a 7k gold lead, and they have an open inhibitor. So, what can we? It's got to be lose early game. That's all I can say. Watch this.
I don't know. It seems like we were saying the whole time that it's win early game in preseason, and now we're kind of second guessing ourselves.
I think the moral of the story is don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just love League of Legends and I love watching you playing it.
Trust me, I know the knowledge.
Okay. All right. That was uncalled for. Oh, gee. Going into these mid right now, it is only 22 minutes, but the game is looking a little unbearable for St. Clair. It's 21-13, as we've mentioned. Both teams are kind of moving around this mid lane team fight. We already see the tower getting taken away now for Western, that tier 1 tower, dropping Cyber, looking to make an aggressive play in the jungle, just scaring Trick away off of his wolf camp here. And as the team's posture to defend to this mid lane tower, St. Clair has to be very careful they don't overstep past the line of scrimmage. If you walk a step too far, you're going to get blown up by all this long-range CC that Western has available to them.
Yeah, Morgana binding especially. That is insane. They're just looking to get these mid-turrets and just open up the map so they can get these pits with their deep vision and just force them into an awkward spot. As we said, awkward spot. Yule is looking to go in to 3v2 right now. 3v4. Loyal looking to go over the wall. That is Fleblings with the ult. That is Loyal with the ult and Yule with the ult. They're just shooting down the side of St. Clair. Just a really awkward fight to start in a 3v5.
Looks like it's never difficult to play, if I'm being honest. You're so far behind now, there's no sense in forcing that fight into the enemy team while they still have Baron available. It is likely going to be available for a little bit longer. Unfortunately, we're not an LCS broadcast. We don't have access to a Baron power play timer, but the Baron was only taken within the last minute and a half here, so they have about 30 seconds left on this Baron. Might be able to even go for Throne here on this push. We'll have to see how aggressive that Western is feeling. It is worth mentioning though that Jayoya did commit his ultimate in that last fight. He definitely didn't need to, but he went for the look anyways. And I think because of that, Western is going to make the smart decision and recall here, knowing that they don't have that Malphite ult available for this next team fight. They're going to wait on some cooldowns and go for the game-winning push in just a few moments.
Yeah, they're looking at this Wind Dragon to help their ultimate cooldowns in general, but now they're actually looking to just position around a bush. Mienzo's ult being stolen by Silas's Loyal. That does have an AP scaling that can hurt real bad. They're looking to... St. Clair is looking to just get a fight here now that they know that they don't have all of their gold on the map, they don't have all of their ultimates up, they're missing a lot of key components. Frez going in on top of Cyber, and then on the top side of this fight, Trick being engaged on both the junglers down. That is Jayoya's ult up, getting 4 people with that ultimate, and then just really putting his team in a good spot. Floodlane's looking to walk in, Mienzo getting shot by the 4-shot by Jin, getting taken down, Frez getting turned on by 2 people, and it is an ace for Western. They're going to be looking to go through mid lane here. They only have 17 seconds though. I don't know if they can take it in time before Trick is up on this volley bear.
Going to be the bot inhibitor is the call for Western, but actually the teleport from Jayoya, he reset and now he's looking for Throne. Western is going to take this bot inhibitor while Jayoya slaps away at those Nexus towers. That was an incredible Malphite ult. He definitely carried the team fight. I think if Roy had lived that, there might have been an opportunity for that fight to go extend a little bit longer, but unfortunately, once that Samira goes down, your team really does not have a whole lot of damage. And unfortunately for Wazi, even after having such a great early game start, he's only got 1 item completed. He's not even finished the Bloodthirster yet. Once that item comes up, it may make a little bit of a difference in these team fights, but he's going up against a nearly 3-item Jin while only having an item to his own name.
Yeah, I believe he, after this mid-game hit, it went really bad for Lazi because he was about 5-1 and now it's about 5-6. We're positioning around Dragon here. We might see another forced fight potentially, but I believe that it's just going to be going over to Western and then they're going to be looking to defend their base.
Bad spot like St. Clair is here. You have to pick your fights correctly, and contesting a second dragon, especially in a Wind Soul, it's just not the fight you want. You give that away for free. You look to farm up your items. You look to hit your power spikes and see maybe once these inhibitors respawn, if you can find it within yourselves to pull a team fight out from nowhere. But right now, with a 11k gold lead for University of Western, that is a scary Jin. Oh my gosh.
Very scary, Carrie.
Scary. I realize University of Western is probably not the best way to say that. It's a little goofy when I say it in my head. Sounds like a really fun school though, University of Western. What? Oh boy.
Oh, it's okay, we've been talking a lot. It's been...
29-15 now in this mid game here. Lazi does have the Bloodthirster completed. That is a big power spike for the Samira, as we mentioned. It makes that ultimate feel so much better when you can just randomly heal the full from nothing in the middle of a team fight. But Western is just happy to live in St. Clair's jungle right now, farming up the blue buff, stealing away the Grompa. They're doing everything they can to choke St. Clair's ability to access farm here. Now St. Clair postured over the wall here, looking for maybe a cheeky engage here using the Yansku. There's the ultimate, does force out the Jin flash and the Dark Binding, so a little bit of a miscommunication there from Western. Jin not having his flash available might mean be the team fight difference here if St. Clair is able to find their way on top of him. With that Camille hookshot, they might have the ability to get on top of Jin, but it's going to be very tricky to get through this front line. This Malphite is a monster right now.
Yeah, it seemed like Western was just delaying until Baron showed up so they can take it and bring their 2 inhib waves into the base. They're possibly posturing to just dive mid right now since they know they have a lead. They're looking for the death bush in this back wall right now. We have Loyal in the front, just baiting them in. Oh, he gets stunned. Cyber getting stunned at the front of this fight. Hit Trick going in with the ultimate. That's Frez's TP in. They're on top of Blaze Nova. Oh my god. Jayoya's ultimate again hitting 4 people. Yule getting really fight. And then all Lazy surviving, getting it all off, being able to really put onto this backline. Frez looking here, Pleblane's still alive. He is a big damage threat on their team. Pleblane's getting destroyed. Yule flashing out, staying alive, getting hit by the Silas Q. Unfortunately, it is 1 for 4. Oh, there's only one person left on both teams. Loyal was able to really take out 3 members. Possibly looking for Trick here. Trick getting engaged back on Loyal with a lot of healing, trying to run him down. That is the ace. He's going to be looking to push this bot wave in to possibly win the game, but he does only have 13 seconds.
That was the way that started. St. Clair was looking so great, and unfortunately for Lozzy, he overstepped just a little bit and took a 4th shot from Jin to the face. It was enough to execute him. Had he survived that initial engage, Lozzy was doing so much damage. He ulted, I think, 3 times that team fight.
That was crazy by Lozzy for sure. It's just, it took one bad turn, and unfortunately they weren't able to get the Baron off of it. So now we'll be looking at another team fight before this game is done.
Man, you told me to get hyped for this game, but you didn't tell me it was going to be this crazy, man. I don't know if I have enough hype for this. this is just requesting too much hype, this game. Oh my god. As we set up for Baron here, the Scuttlecrab is available on the top side. Definitely going to be Cyber's point of contention here, looking to clean that up and get some extra vision for his team before they move on to the Baron. But looking at these items now, Bozzy is moving towards his 3rd item. We almost have the death cap completed for Yule, rather. Very aggressive Galio build for sure, building into that Rabadon's death cap here. These items are going to make a big difference in the way that these team fights play out. League of Legends, of course, if getting kills is great, but getting gold is even more important. And if your kills aren't getting you gold, it's not worth it. So looking at not only the kill scores, but the farm scores are very impressive as well. 230 CS now on Pleblinks, the Jin, this carry, having 4 items completed, nearly completed his 5th and final item, means that this fight is going to be absolutely devastating for whoever comes out on top.
I'm actually very surprised that Western did not force this Baron earlier with the inhibitors down. So now they're looking at 2 inhibitors up, so St. Clair can actually contest this. But Western is just backing off. They see them step in a little bit, and they're looking to go on Lozzy. Lozzy getting all in on by the entire team. They know that he's just that good of a damage threat, and he is gone. Mianspo following through and being right after. Frez is looking for a flank, but he's just gonna bat. And it's looking like this is going to be game off of that play.
Unfortunately for St. Clair, once your hard carry goes down, there's not a whole lot you can do. Weston's just going to walk into the base and take everything for themselves. There's the Volibear ultimate, disabling both towers. Well done from Loyal. The amount of damage that ultimate did to those towers is just incredible. Really nice tech there on the Silas here. And Western University is going to end up cleaning up this series 2-1. Very well played from both teams, but Western University just had that extra edge, 37-20 in game number 3. What a game of League of Legends.
Yeah, that game was just intense, to say the least. That was really well played by Western in the end to just bait them into the Baron and then just turn on them. It was really nicely done by Loyal to look for that flank off of the Raptors bush that he was standing in for about 30 seconds. Wow, that was just well played.
It looked so good for St. Clair, and then, oh my gosh, just 1 or 2 bad fights and it flipped on its head. And I mean, that's just really the beauty of competitive games, is that in solo queue, it's very hard to find a flip like that because your team gets so demoralized so quickly that as soon as the team gets a lead, it kind of just feels like the game is unwinnable. But for Western here to hold themselves even into this 5-0 Samira or 5-1, whatever it was, like a very fed carry on the side of St. Clair, holding their ground and ending up flipping the game on its head. Jin finished the game 12-3. He started off like 0-2 or 0-3, and now he's 12-3. Just an incredible play from these teams here in this.
Yeah, it was really good team communication for sure. They played very well. I'm very impressed with both teams here. St. Clair with game 1 was very, very nice. And then Western being able to respond with game 2 and 3. They just played very well as well. It was just really good team communication, knowing your limits, knowing how to just work in a team environment for sure. Western is definitely a very good team. And I'm really proud of St. Clair for being able to get that 1 game off of them.
Like a St. Clair, we always say, a loss is a learning moment, but a win is a moment to be proud of. And even if it's not a match win, taking game 1 off of a team as good and as honored as Western University is definitely feels good for morale here. Obviously, losing games is never a fun experience, but when you get to walk out of this saying, hey, we took a game off of Western, that's a victory. Very proud of the way the Saints Gaming squad played tonight. and looking forward to some excellent performances from them for the rest of the season. And speaking of future performances, let's take a look at the Saints gaming schedule calendar, see what's coming up next here on the Twitch channel, what teams have games lined up for the rest of the week. On November 29th, Sunday at 7 p.m., we have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in the TESPA League. That was, oops, you know what? That was on November 29th. That was 3 days ago. I am losing my mind a little bit. Let's jump forward now to December the 4th, Friday at 8 p.m., Rainbow Six Siege in the Siege League. Then on December the 5th, Saturday, is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in TESPA, followed by another Black Ops game on Sunday. You know what? I think I was just hyped for League of Legends. I wanted to see December 2nd's game yet again. I would rewatch this game over and over. That was an incredible match that we got to see tonight. And some great games lined up for the rest of the week in both Rainbow Six Siege and Call of Duty Black Ops. So if you are a fan of those shooter titles, make sure to tune into the Saints Gaming channel at Saints Gaming CA and see those games live. If you're looking to get more information on when matches are coming up, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the same link, Saints Gaming CA, to keep up with what is going on here on the Twitch channel. And as always, thank you so much for everyone for watching the game tonight and for watching all the games that Saints Gaming offers on this channel here. We couldn't do it without you, our viewers, and we also couldn't do it without our sponsors. Once again, St. Clair Alumni Association, PC Outlet, Zuckerman School of Business and IT, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel, because otherwise we wouldn't have the opportunities to do what we are doing tonight, and we love doing it. I know I had a great time. Curtis, final thoughts on tonight's events. What did you think of it all? What do you make of it all?
Oh man, those games were intense. I'm actually just exhausted. My throat is just killing me. Like, we just talked constantly. So much fighting was going on. It was just really well played. I had a lot of pop-off moments for these players. I was just very impressed.
Nice performance from some players, especially players that typically don't get to have those moments. Like, we saw Frez just play out of his mind on Malphite in game 1, and having that really sweet Camille ulti too in this game 3. Definitely a nice clip moment as well. Some really good mechanical performances from everyone. Great game all around. So thank you once again for tuning into the channel. We hope to see you next time. We'll see you Saturday for some more Call of Duty. Thank you again, and have a good